Hi everyone, I'm Mark from TX1 Networks.
Hi, I'm Patrick from TS1 Networks.
Today, we are honored to have the opportunity to share with you about our hunt for major league IoT-ICS threats, a deep dive into IoT threat terrain. In this talk, we will share in detail how we built an automatic large-scale threat hunting system and give a deep look into an overall threat situation, as well as trends we observed over the past year, along with 6 hunting examples to demonstrate those trends. We will share benefits from our research as well as response to threats we find. And finally, the next step for our hunting project. Who are TX1 Networks? TX1 is a joint venture company by Cheng and Mosa, and we focus on providing cyber defense and visibility for operational technology networks. Cheng has over 30 years security knowledge in threat research, while Mosa has over 30 years of OT knowledge in ICS infrastructure and protocols. TX1 Networks was developed with this cybersecurity and OT knowledge. Currently, I'm a researcher for TX1, focusing on IoT-ICS data, enterprise-related security, and threat research. I have also shared the result of my security research at major cybersecurity conferences such as HeatConf Tour, Hacking in a Box Conference, ICS Cybersecurity Conference in USA and Asia. And I am also the general coordinator of the Hackers in Taiwan Conference 2021, HeatConf 2021. And later, my associate Patrick will be here to explain some key reason about our hunting process works. His research specialties are malicious payload, malware, and threats. And he was the developer of our automatic threat analysis process as well as the designer of our threat hunting engine and system. And today's outline is basically dive into the 3 parts. First, we will describe why we want to build an automatic threat hunting system and what the benefit for it. And second, what we will into today's focus, an enemy of our threat hunting system. It was not easy to build an automatic threat hunting system, and it is in this part we will fully share the fundamentals of in this construction. In the third part, we will show how we use this system by sharing 6 examples of discovery from our threat hunting. And finally, based on our observations, we will outline the next steps for the future of our IoT hunting systems. Introduction first. So why did we decide to create automatic threat hunting systems? First, we noticed the steady increase of IoT threat and DDoS attacks, as well as the rampant IoT botnets and malware. Back when we started, Garland has just predicted that 25% of attacks in 2020 are related to IoT, and other results also predict the size of the IoT market, and the world will be 75 billion IoT devices by 2025. It's considerable that manual hunting is no longer possible on such a large scale. So look at the list. Developing automatic threat hunting seems like a good next step. And what are the benefits of automatic threat hunting? Automatic detection and real-time blocking of various threats. Instantly locate various threat trends. And threat analysis can quickly focus on the specific threats, and that's one, and the cost of human maintenance is extremely low, and we will show the concept related to this later. And next, let's take about the enemy of our threat hunting system. And to clearly show how we create the architecture of IoT and ICS threat hunting system, we use a data flow to starting point. Our hunting engine are responsible for interacting with the attacker, recording the all traffic received, and then sending it on the hunting engine. Hunting engine mainly aggregate the traffic captured by multiple engines with malicious file and divided the land into malware or suspicious file and PCAP after ensuring their integrity in unit of hours and log and are transformed to the hunting system cloud. And in step 2, the cursor process and compares the malware and PCAP before uploading land to the AWS S3. In the step 3, we focus on preliminary analysis of PCAP and malware content, and first is passed the session crosser gathered on URL and CNC server, and the malware crosser is executed on hunting agent hourly. In step 4, the process mainly produces a list of malicious IP and URL, which used to generate a block list to ensure a visual map of attacks. Actually, step 4 and step 5 run at the same time, and they are shown spread separately here for clarity. Simple to say, this step is responsible for unknown compression of malware. Step 1 to step 4 are all hourly automatic process. In other words, those processes are basically do not need human intervention to run. From step 6, threat analysts conduct a manual analysis of various threats and then produce corresponding threat intelligence. As for step 7, it is based on our implementation of hunting agent against various vulnerabilities. Some vulnerabilities require us to modify our hunting engine, and this time we will create a new image and use one-click deployment, and we will show this later. We have deployed more than 350 hunting engines globally, but how does one decide and deploy hunting engines? To explain it for us, our threat hunting expert Patrick.
Hi, I will describe hunting system architecture in this section. When hacker discovers our engine, the first thing they will do is try to send attack traffic to our hunting engines. Because we want to hunt various protocol-based attacks through hunting engines, we develop and implement multiple IoT and OT threat hunting engines. Traffic handler help us to assign specific protocol payloads to correct hunting engines. After the interaction is complete, the hunting handler will get the attack payload from multiple hunting engines. The hunting handler uses the malware hunting engine to collect malware or other malicious files from the attack payload. Finally, hunting handler uploads these payloads and malwares to hunting agent for data transferring. Here is the simple source code for our hunting engines. As the source code showed, we added features to enhance hunting engines. As the left figure showed, we added interaction for different S7 commands to our hunting engines. This let hunting engines shows the correct response when it receives specific S7 command. As the right figure shows, we added a feature to record attack information when attacks interact with our hunting engines. This helps our hunting system build relationship table about malware and attacker easily. This figure is about the malware handler of our hunting engine. Through the malware handler, the hunting engine downloads malware and malicious files from the attacks payload as a figure. The hunting handler will collect process from attacks payload and download these malware and malicious files. Because malware hunting engines are responsible for collecting these malicious files, these malicious files can be tagged with attack information in real time. These tags also help us trace the malware back to its source. Here is the process of uploading the attacks payload and the malware from the hunting engine to the hunting system. Here is the hunting handler. Before uploading the attacks payload and the malware to the hunting system, the hunting handler transfers these payloads through the hunting agent. We will build some tools for our hunting engine. There are firewall and a threat tool. To avoid the hunting system being broken by DDoS or DDoS attacks, the firewall is responsible to guard and monitor the access history of hunting agent. The firewall daemon keeps external attacks away from the hunting system. To avoid larger payload to impact performance of hunting system, Split tool is responsible to divide the original payload into multiple sections, and the low balance of hunting system can collect the section which is belong to it. Next, I will return to mouse. he will instruct the architecture on the AWS clearly.
Thanks, Patrick. And when those files are uploaded to S3, Lambda will be triggered to perform the malware and session closure procedures. Through deploying the malware and session closure to ECS, the hunting system can handle larger data from our hunting agent. Yet ECS allowed us to overcome the limited computational resources. The malware closure detects the connection status of the CNC server and download samples from the server. It will always analyze threads with the newest material and information from the CNC server. Then the session closer is responsible for processing the content of PCAP. Well, it attempts to find a specific command injection, URLs, and anything else that may be considered strange. After the hunting system analyzes the PCAP and malware, it proceeds a list of a malicious IP and URL. At the same time, it will also trigger Lambda to conduct a more in-depth blacklist production process. We will compare it with various threads to ensure that our blacklist is able to block real attack or botnet members. The hunting system will create internal services to confirm if each IP belongs to a shared IP or not. If the IP belongs to the public or shared IP, it means the attack is hidden behind this IP, and the hunting system will filter this IP and to avoid the IP being inserted into the block list. In the end of this process, we will update the final block list to S3 to interface with related protection service. At the same time, we will visualize those attacks on our global threat map. Our malware analyzer will create everything related to malware. Basically, we compare the status of the malware with virus total. Virus total let us know how many totally new malwares we get from our hunting agent each hour. Such an automatic process effectively reduces malware investigation and analysis time spent by our internal researchers. Let's show our unknown malware received every day, and our researcher will do a lot of time to analyze it. And after analysis and the integration of relevant information, the complete information will be sent back to S3 for subsequent analysis, and you will see this page is used to Athena to query it. And threat analysts will more deeply automate the content based on Athena. They want to hunt and analyze the queue. They find the facilities, the time list of analysis. For example, every day we monitor international information security incident and the status of vulnerabilities notification and release. We will conduct a deeper analysis of those threats and determine whether or not we need to update our hunting engine around the world to ensure that we are capable to detecting those threats. And the last step of the whole process. This is a function set up to strengthen our automatic process. In response to constantly update threats, we often need to deploy the new hunting engine image to our threat hunting systems. In order to make it clear, we have prepared one-click deploy video demo for display. This video starts from one-click deployment and runs step 1 to step 5 automatically. And here is our video demo. So this is our architecture overview again. And step 1, we will deploy our new hunting engine with a new image. Here, no image here, no instance here, and we use to check our video here. So here we will check our configuration JSON file and make sure we need to deploy 10 new hunting engines, and we try to deploy this for Red Hat. So we create 10 instances, and this low instance will deploy to the global instance now. So here we just review this again, and we find a running instance will to the 10 devices. So there are 10 devices are still running instance, and it's our new image. and then the data will flow to collect data and from to the hunting agent. So in our hunting agent, we'll collect those PCAP, those file, image, log, and every information will transmit to the our hunting agent and to analyze to generalize it. So in this process, usually they will around 1 hour or 1.5 hours because they need to collect feasibility to our global hunting agents. And then just like to check our upload to the S3, and this S3 bucket will trigger Lambda and trigger to our EMR container and do the malware and session browser. And in this session browser, and for this session browser, he will upload and try to download the PCAP and try to cross a session and to build a new session join session log and to run our analyze process. So I'm sorry for that. We need to mask some information because it is for us. It's a very sensitive data, so we cannot disclose late. But we still want to disclose some our hunting process with guys. So we choose to use mask every information of here. So you are around see so many log here and run the session browser, and after the session browser do this, and he will store the data to the S3 bucket again. So we will have the data, analyze data, and to store to our SM bucket. And when that time will trigger our Lambda again, when the data located here to packet here to our logs, and will trigger our Lambda to run the our IOC generator IOC process. So here is will trigger our devices here. So logs, and in this here we will make sure our output location, and we'll trigger some instance to run the ECS and EMR to run the in-deep process. In this process, will generate the IOC list or block list again. But in this block list, they will compare more signature, more internal threat intelligence again, and try to figure out and make sure those block IP is real attack or Botnet member. So we do a lot of things to compare and to make sure this IP, this information, this IOC is real. And then we will store to our export data and check our this hour, and we will find our packet already deployed it, and we can query this quickly, which signature and which IP address for what for block, which IP for block list, and we can also do for our analyzer analysis to do this, and like a black hat image. It's a new image, and we modify the hunting engine location to the black hat. But in normal hunting engine, they will run this is normal hunting region, like maybe from Canada, from China, from everywhere. So we just want to trigger this. Instead, fire and malware analyze. When malware locate, upload to S3 and make the successful flag, they will trigger a SAM bucket and to run the container. And in this process, they will run our scanner to compare with virus total to make sure everything is which one is unknown or known malware, and which malware we need to hand over to our researchers to analyze it. And also we can use as Athena to query it to compare to the virus total, which one is known, or how many vendors which or known malware in this Athena table. It's very quickly. Also, we will use if those malware is unknown, we will run our internal process to send our analyzer and to do the more malware research. So this is our hunting process to show is. Just to recap our highlight of our IoT-ICS hunting systems. And first one, our hunting engine can hunt more than 30 protocols across IoT and ICS. And for dynamic adjustment, the system can automatically dynamic adjustment the NC's process based on hourly traffic size. And we do not need dedicate a lot of powerful machine to do data processing. This least cut down costs. And in-depth analysis allowed us to provide extremely practical in-depth information about cyber threats. And one-click deployment, which you just saw it. And our we have classified a large number of payload through our classification mechanism, and the payload of the same type of attack actively aggregate together to help us identify known and unknown attack situation in a short time. Due to the time constraint, we will not explain more about payload classification at this time. Also, cost reduce allow us to continue to improve the research we want to do. And after introduce our hunting system, let's quickly see 6 hunting examples to see what this intelligence can do. First, IoT hunting as a service. From September 2019 to the first week of October 2020, we analyzed 20 plus TB of traffic. In fact, if we count all the way back to the beginning of 2019, our analysis will exceed 45 TB of data, which is also due to the pressure modulation of our architecture and attack situation. However, we measure this from September. From those 20 TB traffic, we have detected over 1.2 billion attacks from over 200 countries. And we hunt over 70 million distinct malicious IP and 15 distinct suspicious domains. Then, after in-depth analysis of hunting systems, we successfully blocked 37 plus million malicious IPs and 2.1 plus million malicious domains, find 1.4 plus million possible botnet devices, and find 2.6 plus million pieces of malware. Also, on average, about 3 million attacks are detected per day. More than 117,000 malicious IP are detected per day, and we block more than 93,000 malicious IP every day. It's a very big number. Second, global botnet analysis and alert. This is trends of botnet measured by date. Our definition is that when attacks want to separate or infect externally, we define it as part of botnet. It consists here that those payloads are all trying to download suspicious script or malware from other sources in various forms, trying to carry out various proliferation or control the behavior. Using real case, we provide consumer threat alert to public. For example, when we detect some attacks from Taiwan's government service network, we perform analysis and provide feedback to consumers who had reached out an emergency response. Here are some basic counts like top 10 countries with the most devices on botnets, top 10 attack source country, and top 10 attacked countries, just for reference. Third, the unknown malware playground. Here we see the total number of unknown pieces of malware hunt per day. On average, we hunt more than 1,200 pieces of malware in a day. However, from January to April 2020, the number of unknown malware was much smaller. Regards that this may be related to global COVID-19 situation. However, if we look at the unknown malware ratio per day, we will find that the difference is not that big, which is in line with the overall trend we see. And you will find that the number of unknown malware in the front is very scary. But after removing duplicates and leaving only EIF files, this will be about 18,000 unique unknown malware. Frankly speaking, this number is still very large. But in terms of architecture, i3, i6, ARM, and MIPS still account for the bulk. Of course, we will conduct simple automatic analysis on the unknown malware we find, or manual analysis. Sometimes you will find a lot of interesting things. And fourth, let's take a look one day on unknown vulnerability hunting. With so many vulnerabilities, how do we know the status of one-day vulnerabilities? So we create a signature for various vulnerabilities and observe whether there is any change in the trend. For example, here's a chart showing an increasing trend of web remote file execution, etc. password. So we will monitor this, or like this Keep, which was quite well known late last year. Keep showed a very high trend at the end of the last year, and it showed decreased at the beginning of this year. However, for unknown attacks or vulnerabilities, we regularly classify various payloads and automatically send out a mail, so that threat analysts can quickly determine whether they are new attack or not. So we just need to filter those payload. We can check at least it's unknown or some which one vulnerabilities will be finded. Attack trends analysis as early warning systems. The same is true for different protocols such as SQL, Telnet, or HTTP. For example, in Telnet, we will find some information here. Like if very high, we will monitor what's happening about the Telnet protocol. Or HTTP, such as a chain graphic, help us quickly classify. When we find that the amount of attacks on a particular protocol increasing, we will quickly coverage and conduct in-depth investigations. And regarding the next generation of threats, we have also observed an increasing trend of detection or attack traffic against ICS or SCADA protocols. So, and our detection methods including hunting based on the content of the protocols. For example, the Wireshark screen on the right is part of our hunt, is in our PCAP. So you will find our signature will recognize it's Modbus protocol, also Wireshark can recognize it. And finally, what are the next steps for the next generation IoT threat hunting systems? So mostly, I'm focusing on IoT and ICS threat, and recording observation about overall trends. We expect to bring the complete Industry 4.0 environment into our hunting systems. Of course, threat development will never stop. For the short term, we plan to import real ICS and SCADA environment to our hunting engine and use related technology to enable our hunting engines around the world to interface with real attacks. And in the long term, the real devices is sometimes difficult to maintain. So we expect to utilize high interaction hunting engines in the future. So next we will share a demo of a high interaction and engine sample we built. And this we will take Siemens S7 as a sample. And the first one was Compact, but it does not meet our needs. Compact can respond to the scan from a map, but cannot conduct deep interactions. So if you read or write, it will fail. But the example we provide here is highly interactive hunting engine that meets some of our needs. So you can use a map and you can use read or write command with Siemens S7. So this will be help us to hunt something by attackers. So you can use a map scanner many times, and you will recognize it's a real it's like real Siemens S7 PLC. Also, the next generation of our hunting engine will be coexistence with our IoT hunting engine, fully covering the scope of IoT. But for more in-depth analysis, for in-depth study, we will do many research on machine learning for traffic analysis and malware analysis. So we believe this can make our threat hunting more precise. And now, closing remarks. We believe three terms. First one is automatic threat hunting system is an excellent tool to help us to hunt the continuously expansion of IoT and IoT threats. And here 6 examples of trends for our hunt are only a small part of the resource available in the hunting systems. So this is still more treasures waiting for us to discover. And the next generation of threat, IoT threat, is coming. So an early preparation is the way to deal with it. We believe it will be a great update. And this is the end of our presentation, and thanks for listening. If you have any question, you can message me, or you can tweet me with me. Also, you can find the white paper in our official website. So this is a joint venture research, is joint research by TX13 Research, TX1 Signature Research, and Cheng Micro Incorporated. And thank you for listening again.